Hello students, in our last class we have read about respiration and breathing. Today we will read about the events which are which occurs in our day-to-day life. Events of respiration. As you people know that the process in which the food is broken down to release energy and carbon dioxide gas in the presence of oxygen is called respiration. That means the process in which food is broken down or glucose is broken down. Glucose is broken down in the presence of oxygen to release energy plus carbon dioxide gas. So this process involves 5 steps. So what are the steps? The number 1, breathing. The first step is breathing. The second step is gaseous exchange at lungs level. Gaseous exchange where? In our lungs, at lungs level. The third one is gaseous exchange, gases transported by blood. Gas transported by blood. The next one is when the gas is transported by blood, now the gaseous exchange will take place at the tissue level. Gaseous, I am writing here, gaseous exchange at tissue level. Then again is the cellular respiration. So these are the 5 steps which takes place in respiration. The number 1 is breathing. We'll start from the very beginning, breathing, then the gaseous exchange taking place at the lungs level, then the gas which is already extant, now it has to be transported by the blood to the different parts of the body. So now it will go to the tissue level, then from tissue to the cell. As we know that our body is made up of millions and millions of cells. We know this group cell. What is cell? Cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. Then group of cells makes tissues, group of tissues makes organs, group of organs makes organ systems, and group of organ system makes a complete organism. Cell, then comes the tissues, then comes the organs, then comes the organ system, then comes a complete organism. So we will read each and every steps now. So before starting this topic, let's know what are the parts. What are the parts which are involved in respiration? The parts, the organs, or we can call it organs, parts or organs which are organs involved in respiration. Involved in respiration. The number one is nostril. The number one is nostril. Then after this comes the nasal cavity. Nasal cavity. Then after the nasal cavity is our pharynx. Pharynx is the pharynx. Then comes the larynx. Then comes the trachea. Trachea is known as windpipe. Trachea is known as windpipe. Then after trachea is the bronchus. Bronchus. Bronchulus. Then comes the alveoli. So these are the organs which are involved in our gaseous exchange, which are involved in the process of respiration. Nostrils. Nostrils is the common, this passage, this hose in the nose is called nostrils, and the chamber from nostrils till the pharynx is called the nasal cavity. In this chamber we have fine small hairs which filters the air, and the filtered air goes into our lungs. And pharynx is a common pathway for both air and food. This is the common pathway. Here comes the part epiglottis. Here comes the part epiglottis. It's a flip-like cover. It's a valve. It's a valve. When we eat the food, suppose this is our pharynx. Here is the epiglottis. Here, when we eat the food, this is two pipe. One is the trachea, one is the esophagus. When we eat food, this trachea is covered by the epiglottis, and the food coming from this part will go from the esophagus to our stomach. But in case it is not covered, then the part of a food enters in our trachea, and through the trachea it comes out from our, it will go in an opposite direction and it will come out from our nose. So this is the cover, this epiglottis is the cover which prevents the entry of food into the trachea. From here the food will go into the esophagus. Let me explain again. Suppose this is our food pipe. This is our windpipe. Windpipe is known as trachea and food pipe is known as esophagus. Here, when we are eating anything, when the food particle is coming, then this trachea is covered by a flip-like cover so that the food particle enters into the esophagus. This flip-like cover is epiglottis. Okay. Then comes the larynx. Larynx is known as voice box, or you can call it sound box also. Is the voice box. You are able to hear me due to the vibration generated in my larynx, in my voice box. So I am able to speak. Then comes the trachea. Trachea is the windpipe. Then comes the bronchus. Then comes the bronchulus. Then the alveoli. Then let me explain this. You know that this is our trachea. This is our trachea coming from our nose region. From the nose to the nasal cavity to the pharynx, then to the larynx, here comes the trachea. Further, this trachea is divided into both the lungs. It is divided into both the lungs. So this division is called bronchus. This division is called bronchus. This bronchus is this division. Further, this bronchulus is again divided into small parts. That is called bronchulus. That is called bronchi or bronchulus. bronchioles. In this bronchioles we have air sac. Air sac or alveoli. This is called alveoli or air sac, which helps in gaseous exchange. So these are the parts which are present in our respiration. This division occurs in both the lungs, and these are the parts which are present in our lungs. So we understood that what are the organs which are involved in our respiratory system. Now we will read about the events. We will read about the events, the 5 events which I have said you earlier. We will discuss it in details. The first step was breathing. Breathing. What does breathing mean? What is breathing? Earlier I said to people that breathing is not respiration. Breathing means exchange of gases. Respiration is the process of taking in oxygen, means in the presence of oxygen, the glucose is broken down to give energy and to release carbon dioxide gas. But breathing is a process in which exchange of gases takes place. So you can ask, madam, which gas is exchanging over here and how? So which gas is exchanging? You are taking in oxygen and releasing out carbon dioxide. So what is the symbol of both of these? Oxygen is represented by O2 and carbon dioxide by CO2. So this is the two gases which are exchanged. You are taking in oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide through our nose or our mouth. Both the organs are involved in respiration, but in digestion only mouth is involved. Nose is not involved. Okay? Here, when you take oxygen, just you take now, when you take oxygen, what happens that our dome-shaped structure, this is the dome-shaped structure just on which our lungs and heart is there, so that it can give shape and support, it can give shape and support to our lungs and heart, and it divides this diaphragm divides the body into two parts. The up part is the thoracic cavity or chest cavity, and the lower part below the diaphragm is the abdominal cavity. Okay, so whenever you take in oxygen, when you take forcefully oxygen, then this diaphragm just flattens. It becomes flattened, and we feel that it is somewhat in upward direction. But when again we release the gas out, it comes back to its original position. It just relaxing. So breathing is a process in which exchange of gas takes place. This was our first step. Now in the second stage, it was gaseous exchange. Where in our lungs level, exchange in our lungs. Gaseous exchange is taking place in our lungs. Let me explain you with the help of a diagram so that it will be very much easier for you. Okay, suppose this is our nostrils, this is our trachea. This trachea is divided into both the lungs, which is known as bronchial bronchus. This bronchus is again further divided into small branches known as bronchi. This bronchi is divided into small round bag-like structure that is called alveoli or air sac. These are the organs which are under our lungs, inside our lungs. Okay, these are the structure which are present inside our lungs. So for your convenience, let me draw your air sac here. Suppose this is your air sac or the alveoli in which already oxygen is present. This is gaseous exchange. It is given in your topic. Just read the topic carefully. This is gaseous exchange. It is surrounded by fine capillaries of blood. That is called blood capillaries. Fine blood vessels. That is called blood capillaries. This is blood capillary, which carries blood. What is the color of blood? Red. It is blood. But I am doing blue here because I have a blue marker. This is a blood and this is oxygen present in our alveoli, air sac. It is present in our lungs. This oxygen mixes with this blood and from this blood it will be transported to the, where it will go from here? From this blood will go to our tissue level now. It will go to our tissue. In the tissue it will mix up with, again this oxygen will be absorbed and from here again it will go to the cell. In our body we have millions and millions of cells. Here again this oxygen will be absorbed by cell and the other gases, the carbon dioxide will again go back, like will come back within the same process and will come back to the blood and from here again it will come back to the alveoli and from alveoli again we will release it out through our nose. This is the process known as gaseous exchange taking place in our. Taking in oxygen, going in the alveoli, from the alveoli mixing it with the blood. When it is mixing with the blood, it is carried up by tissues and cells. And when the tissues and cells are absorbing this oxygen from the blood, then they are again releasing carbon dioxide. They are releasing carbon dioxide in the blood. Now this carbon dioxide is having no use in the body. So again it will come out when we release the gas out. So this is the process of the respiration. These are the events which are taking place in the respiration process. Okay, we know that we have two lungs both in either side. The right lungs is larger or bigger than the left one. The right lungs is three-lobed structure. Suppose this is our lungs. It is three-lobed structure. But the right one is only two-lobed structure. Okay, this lung is again, it is very soft and a delicate part in our body. To protect it from external shock, it is covered by rib, bony box, rib cage, or bony box. It is protected by deep cave or bony box. We will read it about in detail in the next video. So, whatever we have read today, events and mechanism of respiration. The another was pathway of gaseous exchange and gaseous exchange at cellular level. Okay, this much only.